Could the wrong spouse or partner block your success?
Ooh.
In today's podcast, Cece and I are going to talk about some of the things you can look for in your relationship to make sure that you're not being held back. Stay tuned.
Where's your tea? Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my hubby.
Everybody, this is Will and welcome. Glad to have you. If it's your first time with us, please remember to subscribe, hit on the notification bell so you can be notified when we put out these videos. Now, this is a weekly podcast where we talk about
Love, life, family, relationship, politics, here and there. So guys, yes, thank you so much for joining us today. So as you guys know, before we get started, before we talk about the topic of the day, we like to talk about our blissful moment, our blissful moment. I'm feeling my hair today, even though that's not my blissful moment, but I'm feeling my hair, a little change, right, babe? Change is good. New month, not new me, same me. Just different mindset.
Listen, change is a good thing.
Yes.
And many times it starts on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good thing.
Yes, change is good.
I have more hair.
You got to get a haircut. He needs a haircut.
So what's your blissful moment?
Well, my blissful moment besides my hair, getting my nails in this weekend, is that I'm looking forward to Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
For all of you laborers out there,
We thank you.
we thank you. But yes, I mean it's a Monday that I don't know. I wonder what's gonna happen. I know last year with COVID, I know we didn't do anything.
We probably not gonna do anything this year again.
Well, we can at least go out for a drive or something.
I don't know about a drive, but I'm not gonna be up for it. I'd rather stay home and binge watch something.
I don't know about binge watching anything, but a drive or
Drive, like a local drive.
Go by your old job and
For what?
because it's Labor Day.
I'm sure they're not gonna be there, but
No, they'll be closed. But yeah, whatever you do with that weekend, I think use it. I mean, if you're someone where you're fortunate enough to be off from work, do something. Use that vacation day. Do nothing.
you said you're planning on doing nothing that day, that Monday, right?
Did I? I may have said that.
Because we're not grilling. No, we're not grilling. Because typically it's usually, if anything, I just get some food from Chili's and make it seem like, a holiday. Get a nice fajita trio.
That's a day that's put apart for everyone who's in the workforce, who's fortunate enough to get that day off, to stop working.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Spend some time with your family. Grill if that's what you do.
I feel like sometimes when we get a day off, that's when we barbecue. That's when we either have some kind of gathering, and the next day you have to go to work, and you don't
It's exhausting.
and you feel tired.
Yes. When you get it, when you have a holiday like this, yeah, we want to get together, but you find yourself doing things from the beginning of the day until the end of the day.
The beginning.
And it seems like the next day come, you don't want to go to work because you feel so exhausted that you want to take another day off. And sometimes it's common for employees not to show up to work the day after.
True. That's why you gotta take the day after off.
Don't do anything.
You gotta take the day after the holiday off, so that way you can take that day to relax.
No, I don't think it makes sense because that wouldn't be fair to your coworkers.
That happens.
I mean, someone's gonna have to carry a workload.
That happens though.
Oh yes, it happens. But it's Labor Day. It's a day to relax, I think.
No, the kids are off 2 days, Monday and Tuesday.
Really?
They are off 2 days, so they don't go back to school until Wednesday.
So what's the deal with the second day?
I don't know. The teacher's like, man, forget this. I'm taking an extra day off. It's been crazy since school started.
Yeah,
right?
For us, it's going to be a little bit of a longer weekend. So like from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Right.
So we get the 3 days. So we'll relax a
I'm
bit.
taking both days.
You should. I mean, I know in past years, we usually just get the kids and go somewhere.
Yes.
So we're on the travel restrictions due to COVID. Yeah.
We are.
You can binge watch something. I know you have a couple of shows you've been taking a pick here and there.
I've been watching this show on Netflix for like over and over again. It's interesting.
What show is that?
The one with Mike Epps, The Upshaw. It's interesting.
It's kind of funny. Actually, it is funny.
It is funny. Like I would just put it on and iron the clothes or fold the clothes and do my thing while it's playing. I'm not watching it. I'm just listening to it because that's how funny it is. Because I've watched this show like at least since the beginning of.
It has a lot of punch jokes.
Yeah, it does. But it's not a kiddie. It's not a kids.
Well, it wasn't made for kids.
Kind of show.
No.
Yes. But, I mean, think about it. You got Mike Epps. You got Wanda Snipes. And you have, what's that lady's name again?
I don't know.
Regina is her name. Regina.
So she made it up watching that show, Upshaw.
Yes.
During Labor Day.
The Upshaw.
I mean, there's the two seasons out, right?
No, just one. I just been watching it over and over again.
How many shows in the season? How many episodes?
Okay, there we go. Probably 5. No, it's more than that. I don't know. I just play it over and over again.
Really?
I'm just saying. I would just play it over and over again. And mind you, I would not watch any other show. I probably could be in the living room doing my thing, playing my content, and I just have that show playing in the background.
So much for what we're going to do for Labor Day. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I know it won't involve me sitting around watching TV.
It won't involve you grilling. I know that's for sure. And I want you to take a break.
I might.
You might do what? If anything, you're probably going to do some steak or...
No, I'll do some chicken. I'm gonna grill some chicken. Here's the reason.
I won't eat it. I will not eat it.
I'm not grilling for you.
Okay. Well, if I get my steak then.
Yeah. So, but whatever you do for Labor Day, enjoy it. I haven't made a plan yet, but whatever it is that I'm going to do,
gonna grill some chicken.
I'm going to enjoy it. That's for certain. I'm going to make sure that I enjoy every moment of it. Because one thing I've realized these days is, if you don't plan what you're going to do, then you find you're wasting the day because things will pull you here and there, and you're like, geez, what did I do? So, and that's thanks to her. So whatever's going to happen this weekend, I'm going to make sure before the day gets there that I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I will do no more and no less. If someone comes to me and that wasn't part of my plan, I'm going to push you away.
Oh, you push me away, baby?
Yes.
Okay.
So make sure you're part of my plan. Because if not, you will not be part of my Labor Day. So, but
noted.
Looking forward to it. And she's going to enjoy it. I'm going to find ways to enjoy it.
You'll see me watching something. You'll see me.
So, now, in the topic of the day.
Okay.
What's it about?
Could you be marrying, maybe like you dating the wrong partner that doesn't really support your career, your success?
Yeah. Could the wrong partner, the wrong spouse hold you back from your potential?
From your hustle.
From whatever it is that you want to do in life.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, when we get in a relationship, we tend to pick someone that we see supporting us. Someone who will be our biggest cheerleader. Someone who's there for us when we need them.
Right.
But that's not always the case, right?
No, but let me go back. Like when we got together, right?
You and I?
Yeah. Well, when we got together, you and I, yes, baby. Who else?
I don't know.
When we got together, of course, you know, I saw all the good traits in my husband and I was like, okay, you know, you want to have that. You want to be with someone that supports you financially, mentally, emotionally, right? Because you don't want to date. Well, in the beginning, when you start dating someone, you're going to see if that person really support your ideas, support the things that you want to do. Because I always tell my husband, I am his biggest cheerleader. I'm like your biggest supporter. Like, it's just how I am. I'm always like, hey, baby, I see so much potential. You can do a lot more than you are doing now. You know, am I lying, Barry?
No, you're not lying.
I'm always pushing you because you're not just going to settle where you are because you have so many potentials. But if you don't have someone that's pushing you, that believes in you, then it's going to be a problem.
Yes, and this is where the spousal support is important.
Right.
I know we've preached that you got to find it internally for you to motivate yourself, but when you have someone by your side, someone who understands you,
Constantly pushing.
and constantly supporting you and pushing you,
Yes.
sometimes that gives you that extra boost you need. Because we all have had days where we're like, man, forget this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
But if you have someone by your side, say, hey, listen, remember why you started this?
Right.
Remember what we intend to get from this?
Right.
Hey, I'm with you on this. You know what? This was a bad day, but we all have bad days. Let's focus, see what we can do tomorrow.
Yes. And and you doing this, you saying this, it actually going to motivate the other person and bring up my energy, right? Because when you feel like, man, you have a good idea, but we know that this isn't always the case, right? You sometimes find someone that just don't care about you, that don't really see future for you, that just want you to go to work and do what you need to do, bring home the money. And if you have an idea, or you want to start a business, or you want to do something different, that person will be the last person to talk to because they're so negative. Right? That's why sometimes, like, there's people out there and I'm thinking, could they be with the wrong person? Yeah, you love me, but you gotta love me through.
Yeah, and this is where I think when we get in with someone, there are things that you got to pay attention very early on.
Yeah.
Because say if you're a driven person, I mean, you don't just become driven. It's in you.
Right.
And you get with someone who's not, right from the get-go, there's already an incompatibility because you're going to get to a place where you want to keep moving forward, but this person is settled.
Right.
And sometimes it's out of insecurities. They're just not confident enough to bring themselves up to your level.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you wake up with someone like this where you want to do this, but they want to do that, and they'll find reason to tell you why that's not going to work. One thing I hate is when people says, man, you must be dreaming.
Right.
Because they think certain things only possible in your dreams. Yes. People that are driven, sometimes it could seem like they're dreaming, but don't be mistaken. Don't be mistaken.
Right.
If they persist enough, they'll get what they want. If they have a spouse to support them, that will help them get what they want a lot easier and a lot sooner. And it'll make sure that they stay consistent and not give up. Right. And this is where a supportive spouse really come into play.
Yeah.
Is to be there in the moments that you really need them. Listen, I've had my moments. I mean, we have a lot of projects that to work on, and there are days when I feel like saying, I can't say it now, but I feel like saying,
bump this. Go ahead and say bump this.
Yes. Yes, because there are things where sometimes we get frustrated and we feel like nothing's working.
Right.
At times like this, you don't want someone that says, man, it's probably time for you to just give up. This is not for you. If your spouse, that's how they come at you, then you need this person.
You don't.
Yeah, because there are moments, not that what you're doing is not right or it's not working, but it's just not happening as quickly as you want.
But for you to tell me it's not working, you're going to have to give me more. Give me a reason why you think it's not working. I mean, as my husband or my partner, I want you to be able to make me see what I'm doing, right? Like if you don't see the vision, I want you to see the vision of where I'm going. And that's when the full support is going to come along. Yeah,
but that is if you can get someone who can see your vision. Because sometimes whatever's in your head, if that person is not in the right mindset and vibrating at the same level as you are, they'll never see what you see. And you can fight it, it may never happen.
True.
And this is where you got to pay attention in any relationship with you and just see, am I on the same page as my partner?
Right.
If I'm not, is there a way to possibly get on the same page? And if we can't get on the same page, it's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. So what's going to happen when you are not on the same page? You're going to start arguing with your partner and you're going to feel like giving up.
It's not going to work. I mean, it's going to be a rocky relationship, but there's always reasons why this happens. And sometimes getting down to the root cause can help maybe find a solution for why your partner is not on board with you.
Why would you block my success? Why would you block my blessing, God's blessing, right? You know, I may have an idea of opening a candle store. You know, like candle smells really nice. And then you like, you know, if I were you, I wouldn't. But first of all, you're not me. Okay. God gave me the vision. So
well, here's where a partner can be unconsciously, you know, blocking you without even realizing that they're doing it. Say, let's take the candle store idea.
mm-hmm.
Someone who's not in a business mindset, they see a candle maybe sell for $20. They see that that's no way to make a living selling something for $20.
Yeah.
But if you're not thinking business wise, you're not thinking that maybe you can sell 2 million candles.
Right.
And that will bring a whole lot of revenue for your business.
Mm-hmm.
They're not thinking that the cost to manufacture a candle could be $1. If you can sell that at $20, you're profiting. Well, look at any other overhead expenses you have. You could be profiting a good $15 per candle.
Well,
now those are all hypothetical. That's not me saying that someone who's selling candle is bringing that much of a profit, but it could be possible.
Oh, it is possible. I'm sure there's tons of people out there who are in the candle industry.
But if you're with someone who cannot see this from a business standpoint, all they see is that a stick of candle that sells for $20. Yes, you cannot make a living selling one item at $20, but you can make a boatload of money selling 2 million items at $10.
Yeah.
So, and this is where sometimes the person's background may not allow them to see. And in a case like this, you can easily sit the person down and kind of explain how the business works and so forth. And you may get to some kind of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But some people are so thick in the head.
Some people I'm always going to say this. I think it's just because, you know, insecurities and lack of, they either feel like threatened by you, by the spouse, where they feel like, okay, because, you know, there's this thing nowadays where women just want to make their own money. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we have the idea.
You better not be making your own money.
They have a
I want to be the
it.
one who always make the money. So I can control you.
Okay.
Some people think that way.
Oh, well, some people,
if my
they
woman
do.
makes her own money, that's a good thing.
Well, yeah.
I know. I can say, hey, you pay for this.
And I'll be like, sure.
And she'll pay for it.
Right. There's nothing sexy when your wife is like.
Listen, you know, I like toys. Not electronic toys. Camera gears, all things electronic, computers and all that stuff. So
things
I can make a list of expensive things that I want, and my wife is making crazy amount of money. She'll get it for me. I live off of you while you
do nothing.
But it's a good thing when
but I think it's sometimes they feel threatened by the other spouse.
Well, they do. You know, some people use their status in terms of income as a way to project their masculinity or their superiority, because it could be the woman making more money. And I see that if this person gets to a level where they're making the same amount of money as me or more, then that power that I have is no longer, because I can't control you, because I can't tell you what to do, because the money was the only thing I had over you. But now that you're making more than me.
Right.
So, and this is where the threat may come. Some people may feel like, maybe you were with me because I can take care of you. Once you make enough money, you're just gonna pack up and leave. And that's also,
well, if you marry someone, I don't think they'll pack up and leave.
Listen, there's a lot of people that are in relationship that are insecure about where they are, their position in the relationship, and there's usually something they think that's why they're in. If they are the provider, they bring the money, they'll keep you here because they think, hey, you're with me because you depend on me.
Right. Oh, no.
Now, the moment that you make your money, more money than they do, then you're no longer dependent on them.
I've been watching Married at First Sight. So one of the couples, what they do, this guy, he is all about, I want to take care of my woman. I want to take care of my wife. I don't want her to work. I don't want her to pay anything. Even when she was brushing her teeth, he was trying to brush her teeth and he was trying to feed her. And she's like, I am not all about this.
Was she a baby or something?
She said, I was not raised to be like this. I'm one of those women where I have to work. I have to have my own money. I have to do my own thing. It's going to be hard for me to marry someone where I'm just like, okay, here's some money, and then I go do whatever I need to do. No, she even say that it's gonna be hard for her to stay with this guy because he's so controlling of, I want you to be home, take care of the home while I go to work.
He's got some insecurities.
Bring home the bacon, and I'll give you some money to do your thing, but I don't want you to work.
How long do they give him before they break it off?
What do you mean?
Because I think there's a probation period.
I think it's 6 weeks.
6 weeks. I hope that 6 week come quick enough for her.
I have a feeling she's not gonna stay with this guy.
Why would she stay?
And he already told her his credit score is 815.
That's good for him.
Mind you, he has no debt.
That's good.
He has a great job.
That's great.
And he actually just have a lot of money that he wants to take care of his woman. He doesn't want, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I want to feel like, you know, I have my thing.
In a relationship like this, now every relationship's different, but in a relationship like this, eventually when she's fully handicapped, which means she has no voice at all.
Right.
Because everything is him. Mm-hmm. He's going to tell her when I need you to wake up, when I need you to go to sleep, because if you don't, I'm not going to buy this for you.
Over my dead body.
but if you allow someone to put you in that position,
well,
they
you
have
need to
that
put them in
control
their
over
place.
Because what you find, if you've been out of the workforce for a certain period of time, it's difficult for you to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle,
mm-hmm.
it's hard for you to go from the beginning to start over.
Right.
So when you want to preserve what you have,
mm-hmm.
some people would be willing to just roll up and obey. But that's you find yourself in prison.
Well, yes.
Because that guy will get to a point because he has complete control over what happens.
Everything, over what happens.
And he's using the money. Now, hey, listen, I believe a man who has the ability should take care of the woman. Right. However, if your woman says, you know what, great, you take care of me, but I want to do things on mine because I want to feel like I'm important, and let them do what they want to do. Support them. Listen, if they need money to start a business, give them the money to start the business and run their own stuff.
Right.
Because I thought this person would be happy because they're doing things. Because one thing that really gets to people is to get to a point where you feel like, geez, what am I living for? When I wake up every day and I do nothing, and I go to sleep and then I wake up the next day and do nothing, you grow old faster. Now, if you're creative, you'll get tons of friends that you do things with.
You go to the mall and do things. Yeah. If you have friends. But
and if that's what you want to do. But if it's someone who wants to be in the workforce because they wanna be empowered, they wanna feel like I'm important and I can handle things on my own. If today you say the wrong thing to me, I can say it back to you because I can.
Right.
You know, there's a number of reasons, obviously, as we mentioned, that a partner may not be supportive to the other. And trust is one of those, as we said. If you can't trust the person, it's hard for you to support them.
You don't believe in them.
You don't believe in them. You don't trust in the ideas they're presenting. You don't value them as someone who can do stuff. It's going to be tough. So if your partner...
That's harsh.
If your partner or the spouse is insecure about themselves in the relationship that they're in, yes, you can expect them to feel threatened and to feel, you know.
But when you have a woman who's taking care of her business, okay, you know you're going to feel threatened. When you have a woman who knows what she's doing, who goes out there, you know, and get it done, who gets on the streets.
And get it done.
And yes, I mean, I truly feel like sometimes it's just their egos. You know, men have this ego thing, like their ego just get in the way of them seeing it. Where my husband don't have an ego, and I'm so blessed he doesn't have that. I don't think, let me rephrase this. He may have it. He does. Every man has an ego, but his ego is not up here. Okay. Some men, their ego is like up the roof where they're just like, you know, I'm a man.
Well, a man should be highway,
a man. You know? But I truly feel like sometimes it's just their ego just not letting them see it the spouse's way. And it sucks. It sucks. Whatever it is, you gotta stick with me, right?
Support can come in, you know, let's look at the idea. Let's see how we're gonna make it work. Because sometimes we can come up with crazy ideas that may not work.
Like the
But
travel agent one?
I'm not saying travel agent wouldn't work, because
Well, it would, 'cause
part of
we
the
have
ways that
kids.
you can support your partner is to really sit down when they come up with something. Okay, let's look at it together. Let's see how we can make it work, and give your input, give your insight, and find the best way. But obviously, when you sit together and you discuss it, and it comes to be, you know what, that's something that may not, let's tweak it that way, or let's consider this different idea. Yes, because the support can come in that way as well. It's not that you need to do this crazy thing that we know that's not going to work, but I still go along with it, because you're going to get hurt in the process.
Right.
And I'm going to get hurt in the process, because anything that you're doing with your spouse or your partner, or anything that they bring up to you that they want to do on their own, you have to take the time to support by providing some feedback, some insight. But ultimately, you do want to see them succeed. If it's an idea that maybe you've had some experience in it now, don't try to give opinions when it's something you've never done before. Seek experts' help. Because if you've never ran a business and your spouse come up with a business idea, and here you are trying to advise on business when you've never ran one yourself, at that point, your advice is of no value.
Nah.
Seek professional help. Maybe tell your spouse, you know what, I know this accountant who's been handling things. Let's go see this person. They can advise us on the best way to get this set up.
Or you might need a mentor.
Or you might need a mentor. So be there for your spouse. Sometimes you may not be the one providing, but you can guide them to the right place.
One thing I want to say is, you know, the fact that we in the business together, like I'm the one doing the not operations. My husband is more like the marketing man when it comes to all the businesses that we have, you know, and this is where a good spouse come along, where there's some things that I don't know and I don't want to know about it. He always like, babe, come in, let me show you how funnel works, how you do a leads, or how to pull this and that. I'm not much of a technical person. I don't want to know about it.
She's not technical at all.
I'm not a technical person at all. I mean, I know spreadsheet, I know Excel, I can work it out, I know formulas. But as far as, you know, me looking at funnels and a bunch of marketing stuff that he does, I don't want to know. And that's why, and this is why you know that you marry the right person, that you're with someone who wants you succeed, who wants the businesses grow, and someone who's willing to be your best cheerleader, your right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to have a support system. Like he is that, and I am his, you know, and this is how we know that we support each other. We balance each other out. So there's tons of signs that you're going to go over that your spouse could be blocking your success. So what are they, babe?
A few things, like manipulation.
Yes.
They may try to manipulate you, try to change your thinking, and saying that probably not the right thing. Or they may bombard you with tasks that keeps you so busy where you don't have enough time to actually work on the things you want to work on. Or they may play with your mental.
Yes, I want to say, or not showing emotional support.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Talking to you in a negative way.
Yeah.
Those will come to mind while you're thinking, I'm thinking. And then
she's thinking.
Yeah.
You know, diminishing your success in some ways that, you know, you may have achieved something, but they're not there to congratulate you. Or they're like, oh yeah, I did this. Yeah, that's cool.
Man, I remember when I used to work for corporate, like when I get a promotion, I would call my husband, babe, guess what? You know, and I'll tell you this, in every promotion that I either get from when I used to work for corporate, or when he gets from his company, we'll have a cake. We'll have a slice of cake because
we celebrate.
We celebrate.
We celebrate.
We celebrate more money.
Well, yes, we celebrate the next level that you get to, because when one partner gets to the next level, it benefits all of us.
Right.
And that's what people in a relationship has to realize. When you're in a relationship, my success is your success. Your success is my success. Just like if you're failing, I'm failing.
Right.
Because we are one.
Yes.
So, you know, not being present is one thing. You know, you're celebrating success. Maybe you go out with friends and you invite your partner to join in because you want them to be part of the family. They find reasons not to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it is sucks.
And you mentioned the emotional support. That's important.
Like your spouse could be heavily loaded with stuff, like
buried with things, and they need someone to talk to.
Right.
Or they need to vent.
Oh,
and they'll come and vent to you.
I'll vent to you for like 3 hours.
That's why you talk so much. And I do let her, she talks so much, but I do listen.
Sometimes.
But yeah, they may need someone to vent to, someone to unload whatever stress that they have, and be that shoulder for them to come and kind of lay it on. Because you'll have your own time where you need to unload, and you'll unload on them. So be there for each other.
Exactly.
Talking negative is something also that that's a good sign. It's whatever you do, they always find something negative to say about it.
They just brush it off. Like they don't show that they care. Yeah. Right? They brush it off. You could be like, hey babe, I have this great idea about starting this candle business. And like, oh, okay. Not showing interest, not showing that you want to learn, you want to hear more about it. Because when my husband have an idea, I am all ear. Guess same goes for me. When I have an idea, I want you to sit for the next 2 hours and listen to me. I know it's painful.
She's right. It is painful. But a lot of great things have come out of that. I mean, we're unusual as a couple. It seems like all of our conversation always involves some type of future planning. There's a couple that would sit in there, talk about what happened in the day. They talk about people that they've met. They talk about what happened in the past. They talk about families doing this, families doing that. All of our conversation always linked to, okay, this is what we're going to do tonight. This is what we're going to do tomorrow. This is what this month is going to look like. Were you able to get this done? I don't have time to talk about people.
Right.
People's got their own life to live. Why am I worrying about them?
Mm-hmm. And it's funny you mentioned that, because when you're on your way driving to work, we're talking about the business, like what are we doing later today? And when you are on your lunch break, we're talking about planning for either something
my planning board. She's the one that writes on it, because I have a board in my office. We all have our own board, but I have a board which is like the biggest one. So the task that needs to be completed for the week is there. Like, yes, there's a few things that I have to get to on that board.
Yes.
She's the one that writes it on there. And this is how we make sure that, because we talk about a lot of stuff. We discuss a lot of stuff. And I'll tell you, we had realized that if we don't write them down on something, later I'm like, we talked about something earlier today. What was it again?
And this is when I'm like, babe, text me. Whatever comes to mind.
I can't text.
No, whatever comes to mind before you either see a client or something. It's like, oh, I got to text my woman. Let me just text her.
I haven't done that.
Don't forget to check.
But she's been good at writing things on there.
Oh, I'm good at writing things. You don't like when I write things down because you just don't like it.
Well, I don't remember to do it. But when it's written down, it helps me stay on track.
Do you know the power of writing things down?
I know. It's just that my hands just doesn't want to do it.
I told them that all the time. I'm a life coach, guys. Do you know the power of writing things down? When you write things down, it stays here. And I told them we have system for the businesses, but I prefer to write the clients' names on a piece of paper. I have a notebook for everything. I have a notebook.
She is... For one of her business, we had a CRM program that tracks conversations, calls are made all
Tell them
through
what the
it.
CRM stands for.
Customer relationship management program. We invested some money in it. And I'm like, this is going to be the thing, because all conversations are tracked, notes, task, scheduling. Calls can be made right through the system, and calls can be recorded. She barely used it. She has a notebook. And I'm like, okay, you need to look back who you talked to 2 months ago. You have to flip pages. But all you have to do on the CRM, you just type the client's name, and here's their whole database on all the conversation you've had. She likes to write them down. I know the power in writing things down. However,
there's no power in typing because the keyboard makes too much noise.
She's got a quiet keyboard. See, this is excuses. But I understand there's power in writing things down, and it's been helping us. She's my wife and free mentor, so I'm kind of.
I get no money for coaching this man.
It's a trade-off. I handle the marketing things for her business. I have not been invoicing her for any of that. So I get some free coaching. This is the bartering system. I give and you give. That's our arrangement.
But I gotta get paid.
But this is why I mean that we're an unusual couple. We talk about business-related stuff. Now, we talk about some other stuff sometimes. Some necessary stuff. But most of our conversations are about what do we do? How do we move to the next
How do
thing?
we better the process?
You know? And obviously, it's a constant thing. And that allows us to build a very different relationship than other couples. Our vision is to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Financially, spiritually,
Emotionally.
and emotionally. And we can have these tough conversations about money, about disappointment on things that didn't happen. She is tough at calling me out. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, really? You on me again? Why am I getting a beating? But that's important because when you're with someone, you have to be able to hold them accountable. And sometimes the person who's in the hot seat is not going to like what they're hearing, but it's important.
I'm a coach. That's why.
Yeah.
I do call you out a lot on things because you don't follow through.
That's a form of support. Because imagine if your spouse is doing all the wrong thing and you sit there and let them do the wrong things.
Right.
How are you supporting them?
Yeah.
If they're going down the wrong road and you never go and help them turn things around, how are you supporting them?
And that's what I'm here for. I'm always turning him around. I'm like, no, baby, we're not going this way. We're going this way, you know? And it's very important to really get your spouse straight.
So that's why I say we're unusual. Now, if you're in a relationship where your partner is sabotaging what you have, what can you do to get them to stop holding you back?
Leave him.
Well, that may be the ultimate. That may be the
Sit them
ultimate
down and
solution.
talk. Right. I mean, there has to be common ground, right? There has to be where you sit your spouse down and says, hey, you got to talk. We got to communicate.
Yes. And that communication is important because many people may be doing things they don't realize the impact it's having on you. And yes, to pick up and leave someone without even sitting down and try to find a resolution, that would be wrong. So this is where that communication piece comes in. Recognize that whatever this person is doing is sabotaging you. That's the first step.
Yes.
Second step is to stop making excuses that this person, maybe they don't know any better.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
They'll get over it. They'll eventually understand. Don't make excuses because whatever they're doing, it's impacting you. So recognize that what they're doing is holding you back. Second, don't make excuses for them. I know sometimes that's easier said than done because when we love someone, we'll find good in everything they do sometimes.
Right.
However, if they're doing something that's hurting you, no. This is where this needs to be addressed. So yes, bring it up because a good percentage of the time you'll find that this person never realized the way they were behaving, the way that they were acting, it was hurting you in that way.
Right.
And the majority of the time, you'll find that's the case. And when you sit with this person, you help them realize that they'll flip the switch and they'll start behaving differently. Now, that's not always the case. You'll run into some bozos where you may have to have tons of conversations, a lot of back and forth. In some cases, may even see therapists and helping them understand the power in supporting each other in a relationship.
Right.
And if you've gone to all of that and nothing works, put on a big boot and kick this person wherever you can kick them or her.
Kick him in his ball.
No, but listen, if there's no way you should stay in a relationship where the person you're with cannot support you.
Right. You can't.
You know, I believe there's always a way to work things. Now, that's from me saying that I will always look for a way to see what can I do myself. However, if my partner is not willing to,
right,
what can I do?
Exactly.
I put on a big pair of boots and kick you.
No, I think the best way is, like you said, get help. Communicate with your partner. To me, communication is just like the thing. Communicate. Like if you communicate with him or her and he's not getting it, then boo, it's time.
Yeah. Now, communication has to get done in the best possible way. don't like get pissed over what they just did, and then that's when you want to talk. It won't work.
It's not gonna work.
As yes, you'll be pissed and you'll be saying things that
but you gotta
mean.
be able to talk to him when you calm.
Yes.
When you both at the
right mindset.
Right.
Where you can understand, because when you're pissed, you don't understand stuff.
Yeah, like it could be where you guys go out for dinner, and it's not just about for husband and wife. It's like if you're dating someone too, you gotta communicate and be honest
and be specific with what you need and what you're looking for.
Yeah, I need your support.
If it's a business that you're starting and you need this person to be the one picking up the flyers when you send them to the printing press, you don't tell them that I'm gonna send these out and I'm gonna count on you to grab them for me.
Yep.
Or maybe if there are things that's being delivered that needs to be signed for, and you know this person's gonna be there, you go and let them. This is coming. I'm gonna need you to be there to sign for. So be specific on what you want, because sometimes if you're not, then you leave this person. Okay, this person says they need help, but what do I do?
Listen, I'm very specific when it comes to
too specific.
Well, that's good.
But yes, it's good because you leave your partner at least with things that they can actually do.
Right.
Because it's confusing when someone says, I need help. And you're like, okay, what do I do?
I need you to.
Do I shower you or do I do your hair?
Right. Like, what do you need help with? Like, be specific. That is so true.
Yeah.
Like, be very detailed. Lay it down. Lay all your whatever you have down.
Make a checklist.
Listen, before you talk to that person, just make sure you make a checklist. He's so right. And find somebody who would be your biggest supporter and your cheerleader, because that's what they deserve.
You want to succeed together.
That's what you deserve.
Yes. I think anyone who's in any relationship deserves someone who can be there for them when they need you.
I always say.
And that's every day.
Yes. Every day, whether if you're going through a bad day or a good day, you need that. Like, I don't know how many times I told my husband, I am his number one cheerleader, not because I'm his wife, but because of the potential, because I see him as a human being, that he has so many potentials. And I'm always constantly reminding him. There's time where he gets tired of hearing me, babe, you can do more, you can do more, you can do more, not more like, hey, go out there and hustle, but more like use your mind, use what God gave you, and use your skills, because this man has so much. See, he's blushing right now.
You see a black man blushing.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's just like when the thing is, when it's for the person, you gotta let them know, right? You don't just hold it back and let them figure it out, or let them not saying it to the person. Right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're good, you're good. I'm going to tell you, babe, you're doing a good job. But if you're doing a bad job, I'm going to let you know, baby, hey, listen, we got work to do.
And it's okay to compliment each other and find specific things to compliment each other.
Yes.
When your partner do something great, yes, make it a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make it a huge deal.
Yeah.
That will help him do or her more good stuff.
Right. Just think of the effort, the thought that goes beyond the effort, the ideas.
The set that we're sitting right now, after I finished building it, Cece was like, great.
I sure
I'm
did.
like, you know what? You're going to see. So I started adding more stuff. But you know what?
God,
supporting your partner is important. When Cece says, I'm going to put this podcast together and I need you to be in it, I'm like, yes, ma'am. Tell me when we're starting.
No, I didn't.
But you know what? Whatever it may be your spouse is, if they need your help, be there to help. That's it. No if, no but. Yes, you got to make sure there's no scheduling conflict but be there. Make an effort to help, because that's how you show you love your partner.
Mm-hmm.
You're there in it with them.
Amen.
If we're going to sink, we sink together.
Amen.
If we're going to rise, we rise together.
Amen.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Let the church say amen.
So thank you very much, everybody, for listening to this podcast. It's probably going to be a lot longer than most, but we can leave with that.
Yes.
If it's your first time being with us, thank you. thank you for sticking around and listening to us. And remember to subscribe.
Yes.
And click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we post these videos.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who've been with us since the beginning, we appreciate you. And obviously, you've seen how we've evolved over time. We're looking at one of the earlier videos. This used to be very different. So it's thanks to you guys who's been around supporting us that's been allowed us to evolve into what we have today.
Right.
So thank you.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
And keep sharing this with everyone you know. I mean it. Everyone you know.
It costs nothing to share.
It costs nothing. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud. So you get to listen to us even if you can't watch us. So thank you again and enjoy your Labor Day weekend. And we'll see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Peace.